Ben Townley must be a very proud father, unbelievable. And he was just telling me about his wrist injury, which I had no idea about, which makes it even more impressive. So you must be delighted that he was able to get the job done and become junior world champion.
Yeah, I think the wrist injury was probably a blessing in disguise when you see the last. So he started riding. So we arrived in Europe. He rode for 3 or 4 days, got injured, and then he didn't ride, I think, for 7 or 8 days. And we thought he'd broken his wrist, but he hadn't. He had bone bruising, and then got back on the bike Tuesday in Lommel, rode a little bit. He was pretty uncomfortable. Rode a little bit Wednesday, and he felt better, and he also rode better. And then Saturday morning, he started off a little rusty, for sure, and then qualifying he did really well. He improved, and then free practice this morning, he improved a lot from qualifying. And I could see that his pace was, like in terms of race pace, would be good, not qualifying pace. Like this morning, he did 2:10s, and yeah, I could see that it was going to be good. But for him, starts are really inconsistent. It's not at strength of his, and he just absolutely smashed the first start, and then won that, pretty good. That was a good moto, strong moto. And then Moto 2, he flunked the start a little bit, and I think he started about 10th and got up to 6th by the first lap maybe, and then 5th, 4th, 3rd, got to 2nd, made a mistake, fell to 3rd, and then on the last lap he went down, and the car was able to stay in 3rd. So he said he'd never started his bike, or got up and started his bike so quickly.
And he had 2 very different motos. In the second moto though, I think he showed how good he was under pressure, because he was in 5th there for maybe half the race, and you were sort of thinking he needs to go now if he's going to do it. But he dug deep and he was able to make the passes and do it in style really to get the junior world title.
Yeah, I wasn't concerned about the passes. I thought that he would just find his speed and continue to improve. He's extremely fit. He's his trainer. So I knew that fitness-wise he had it in him. Everyone was going to suffer in these conditions. So I knew that. But he's solid and calculated. He's extremely calculated, and I knew that he would just slowly move his way forward. And he got to 2nd. I thought that he could get to 2nd, and then he made that one mistake. So, but overall, the second moto was really good.
And seeing a Leok and seeing a Townley race, it's like going back in time 20 years. What's it feel like for you, seeing the next generation?
Wow, Lucas, he rides fantastic.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I think
it's actually impressive to watch him ride. When you came through the mechanics area, he didn't even look like he was trying, like it was the way he rides the bike. He rides really well. So big congratulations to them also, and I think that he'll obviously go a long way.
And Levi, I mean, watching him race, he looks very smooth in control.
Yeah,
he doesn't look. Yeah, I'm glad you said it, not me. But is that something you've tried to drill into him since such a young age? I mean, it almost looks like you when you were. Yeah.
To be calculated, to be calculated, and I've been coaching since I stopped racing in 2016. I've been coaching, and I just tried to install really good habits, technique habits, and not allow the boys to go the wrong direction with their riding technique, because I quickly learned as a coach that what I spent most of my time doing was undoing bad habits. So if you create really good habits, they become a part of just how you do it. It's just like an extension of who you are. So that's what we focus on a lot. I don't focus on the positives. I just point out what can improve. Yeah.
And not just to talk about Levi, the other son. He's very young. Just to qualify, I think is good, and I think he got 12th or something in the second moto.
No,
that's pretty good.
But
he was up there.
He was up there in both motos. He crashed in both motos, unfortunately, and he's bitterly disappointed. But I don't think he understands the enormity of at his age and the experience. He wasn't even coming on this trip 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
and then we decided to come. So firstly, he doesn't have the right correct suspension, which he suffered with a lot, but he doesn't know that, he doesn't understand that. He suffered with that a lot because we prepared quite well with Levi, and then you know, just for him to be here in this environment, it's huge at his age. He'd be the youngest, if not the youngest rider out there in that category, so he's got a long way to go, but he's pretty I can see he's pretty determined to improve from here, but he'll have his time.
What's it like for you being back in this paddock? Obviously, I think you go to Sardinia pretty much every year, or you've been there a few times anyway, and you're here. It must be nice to see, you know, your friends that you've met along the time, like Everts and guys like that.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, I've you know, one of my best mates is Ruben. He came to America with me, and he was probably the catalyst for why we're even here, and so we've been staying with him. It's been great, and certainly caught up with a lot of people, but it's quite busy. Like having two boys racing or riding and racing, it's extremely busy. So I haven't spent a lot of time catching up with people, but when I do it, it's nice to see them.
And obviously, when you were in the GP paddock, a lot has changed. These days, there's a lot more focus on the youth with the EMX classes. What's your thoughts on that? Would you like something like that when you were their age?
You can see how it's raised the standard of the sport, right? If you compare to what, if you just compare, and I shouldn't even get into the subject because people go off on a tangent, but like American amateur scene isn't successful because they haven't, until recently, had the SX Future program, and they need to include a lot more of those moto combines at motocross events to bring their level up, you know, because their youth level, they don't race enough, whereas over here, the 85s and the 125s race so much and across so many varied conditions. But yeah, I'm not biased, I'm just saying what I see, you know.
And whenever Levi gets into 125, it would be nice to see him race the MX 125. Is that something? Yeah, that's what you want? Yeah,
it's just such a good category. For the reason I just said, it's great. The standard is very high, and speed, and the competition, and then obviously all of the conditions that you ride. So you'll get a lot of it. You get a lot of experience from it.
And I believe his racing isn't done so far this year. There's talk of maybe Lockett next week, and then he's also going to be doing Matterley, I think, the 85 class there. So still plenty to race for between now and the end of the year.
You'll have to give the bank manager a call first. We plan to race in Lockett. Yeah, we'll just see. We've got a few things that we have to line up to make that work, and then racing in Australia also later in this year, and then most likely in Matterley as well for the YZ Cup. Yeah.
And just on MXGP this year, have you been following it closely?
No.
Not really?
No.
Okay.
It's tough. It's
you've been... Well, just to get your thoughts on Jeffrey Hurlings, Tim Geiser and Jorge Prado, three very different styles, but it's awesome seeing them. I remember you said one thing about Roman before is he makes a lot of mistakes, but quite a lot of small mistakes, but he seems to always make it work until he gets injured like this year, but obviously he's still fast. Yeah.
The three that you spoke about, Tim and Jeffrey and Jorge, they're on another level. Like I always watch the highlights on Monday morning in New Zealand, and the one thing that stood out to me the most was that qualifying race at that new Spanish track, the Prado track.
Lugo, yeah.
Like the way they were riding was insane. The intensity and the amount of horsepower that a 450 has, and the way that they were able to like apply exiting corners, but it looked like it was just qualifying lap after qualifying lap. And that's one thing that stood out to me. Yeah, I'll go out and say right now, like the fastest motocross riders in the world right now. There's no doubt about that.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers.
An amazing weekend for you. How does it feel to be junior world champion?
Yeah, it's amazing. Didn't think I was going to be racing. About a week ago, I thought I'd broken my wrist, but it was really bad, bruising my bone. Couldn't move it, and then now I'm here, world junior champ. So I feel it's so cool. Travel was 30 hours of travel, furthest country away. So yeah, it was definitely worth it.
I had no idea about the wrist. It certainly did not look like it in your riding. Yeah. How did it feel with the wrist? I mean, were you in any pain? Was it uncomfortable or? Did it feel alright?
I think the adrenaline took over and it was just so exciting in the moment. There was so much going on that I forgot about it, so that was good.
And how did you find the track? Deep sand. Yesterday was very deep. Today was still pretty rough though.
Yeah, I liked yesterday quite a lot, but I loved the track. It was a very good track, and shout out to the whole team that did all the track work. They did an amazing job, and it was an awesome event. And
have you raced tracks like this before? Have you got stuff like that at home or not? And do you like challenging bumpy tracks like that?
Yeah, I love it so much. When I walked the track this morning, I was like, oh, they prepped the whole thing, but then it ended up getting rough, so I was happy about that. But back home we don't have much. We have one sand track and it's quite far away, so just adapted when we came over and rode 3 times before this, and yeah, it looked like it worked. And
when did you get over to Europe?
I got over here about 2 weeks ago, but then I got injured, so I only rode 2 times or 3 times.
Okay. And how have you found being, I'm assuming, in the Netherlands? How do you find it? It's probably quite a bit different from home, but obviously your dad's experience, so he can obviously help you.
Yeah, my dad helps me understand some stuff, but I love it over here, so maybe I could see myself here next year in MX if there's an option.
And obviously your 2 motos were quite different. The first one you were second, Erniker crashed, and then you controlled it at the front. Second one, very different in a few battles there.
Yeah.
How were your motos from your perspective?
Yeah, the first one was some of the best. There wasn't much that I could have done better. Just amazing start. I did it to perfection. Then some guy came around the outside and then he crashed trying to push. The track was very hard where he crashed. And then I was just riding my own race. I was pushing pretty hard, but the French rider behind me was keeping me honest, about 5 seconds behind, but held it there and rode a good race. And then race 2 was a bit different. I let the clutch go a bit too fast, attacked it, and it bogged. And then I was like outside the top 10 and just battled my way through, trying a bit of hard, and I crashed on the last lap trying to pass for second, but the fastest get up I've ever had in my life. I was just straight on my bike and going again, but it looked like it worked. And
I mean, from the first lap of Sakamoto, I could see Leok was leading. When did you realise that you needed to get into third to be world champion? I'm sure your dad was in the pit boards doing a good job.
Well, I didn't even know. My dad said need P3. I thought I was in 5th, but I was actually in 4th. And so I didn't think I'd won. And I came across the line a little bit angry that I'd crashed and lost the world title. And then I seen world champ and everyone was cheering, and I was like, no way. Amazing.
In terms of for the rest of the season, what are your plans now? Do you stay in Europe much longer, or do you head straight home?
Well, I just got note after I won the world championship that I'm racing the Czech Republic round for the EMX 85, so okay. That'll be pretty wicked in 1 week, and then head home, have a bit of a break from riding and recover, and then we go to Australia for Supercross. That's a great series. And then also I've been invited to go race in Australia, Motocross the Nations for the Yamaha 85 Cup.
Oh, yeah.
So there's an option there to go do that, which would be pretty awesome.
And watching you race, you don't actually look that fast, but you're very smooth, precise. Is that something your dad's drilled into you since you've been very young? It's almost like watching your dad 20 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, well, most people wouldn't even think I'd probably qualify when you watch me, but because there's just no movement, no revs, no action. It's just hit my marks and good technique, and that's why it looks slow, but on the stopwatch it works out pretty good.
Exactly. And apart from obviously your dad, what's he like on you? I mean, he's been in your shoes trying to make a name for himself, but at the minute it should probably just be fun. Is he hard on you, or is it up to you if you want to go and ride?
Yeah, well, he just tells me his honest opinion, and that's it. He's best dad I could think of, and helps me a lot with all my racing technique, everything apart. And same with my mum and my family back home. They were up. It's the opposite time at night, so my whole cousins and mum and that, they were watching at 2 a.m. in the morning the race, and we were on the phone to her, and she was just next level happy. So my family's a big part of my success.
And obviously at the minute there's loads of brothers succeeding. You've got the Lawrence brothers, the Coonan brothers, you've got the Latvian Reslis brothers, you've got your brother. What's it like doing this with him and experiencing that for him? And the Townleys are going to be on the block soon, I think.
Yeah, they're coming to get you guys. No, my brother is awesome. He'll win the world title in a couple of years, I think. He's only just turned the age to race, and he was running 12th today, so that's pretty amazing for him, and he learned a lot today with a couple stuff, so it's an awesome experience for him to come and learn and hopefully win the world title in a couple of years.
And next year, you'll probably be on a 125 next year?
Yeah, that's the plan. We'll just see how my growth goes, and it's not a rush to get up the bikes. We'll just take it with my growth, and if I do grow, we'll probably come in EMX when I'm on a 125, and that'll probably be the plan if it's available.
So you definitely want to come and do EMX then?
Yeah, I think the EMX is a great program, and I think I could get a lot out of it if I came and raced.
Great to hear. Thank you very much for your time. Two very, very different races. First moto, okay, it wasn't an amazing start, but you were still, I think, in the top 10 and quickly got your way into the lead. But the second one, way back, went into beast mode, and must have felt amazing to pass those riders so quickly.
Yeah, in the first moto I start around 8, then I worked myself into second so quickly, like in the second lap, and then I was struggling to pass my teammate for one lap, because he just tried to kill me every time I tried to pass him, and then I passed him, and yes, I had a comfortable lead, I think around 20 seconds. Then in the last lap I was, I need energy for the second moto, and then I win by 14 seconds. It was a really good race. I like the sand track, and yeah, this year in the European Championship I win 2 overall in the sand. So, and yeah, it was a good race. Second one, horrible start, around 25. In the third corner I put my bike in neutral, I almost crashed. And then, yeah, I just, in the first or second jump, I just, watch, and the leader was 10 seconds in front of me in 300 meters. And then I just switched my head off and tried my best to win this title. When I was passing for the second place, I was 20 seconds behind the leader, and then for the end of the 25 minutes I became like 4 seconds behind him, and then I just listened a really weird sound from the bike, and then I just say, okay, let's bring home the World Championship, and I just was riding without clutch, high gear, and half gas, because I was listening. When I was close the gas, the bike just do like it want to stop. So I was really happy that the bike don't broke and I win this championship.
And in the first moto, I was standing just after the corner where you passed Mancini, and I seen you waving. I actually thought that was you waving to your fans in the crowd or something, but that was just at Mancini.
Yeah, because he tried to kill me 3 times. I think it's if someone is faster, not let him go, but don't want to kill him. And then when he tried to kill me again, but I was overpassing from the outside, I said ciao ciao, and then in 2 laps I gave him like 10 seconds. He was so fucked. Then I just riding with a comfortable pace on the sand. Yeah, I like so much the sand. I trained a lot there with Nemet Cornell, and I would like to say thanks for him, because since I'm 4 years old, he helping me to grow up my career, and his track is really good in the winter to training on the sand.
Tim, who did you say there? Tim?
Nemet Cornell.
Okay. And in the second moto, what was going through your head at the start, and you were behind so much? I mean, a lot of riders would have panicked, but you seemed to just put that to the side.
I saw my competitors was in the front, so I was scared for sure. And I just, on the second jump, I think, I put my heads up, see who is in front, and then I saw Mancini was on the lead, I think, and Garcia was in front, Donson, every fast rider was in front, and then I just turned my head off and opened the gas with some clutch, no brake, and I gained position by position. Every corner I just went one line where was nobody, opened the gas, and yeah, so quickly I worked myself into second when I passed Donson, and then yeah, I tried to be first, like with win 1-1, but then the bike started to feel slow, and then I said, okay, just bring it home.
And what was your thoughts on the track? I think yesterday was probably deeper, but today was still rough. How rough did you find it?
Yeah, when you'll be riding with the 65 and 85 riders in the Junior World Championship, the bumps are really short and it's like a triangle. With the big bikes, with the big wheels, we're struggling. We try to wheelie, make like jumping it, but it's still really difficult. For us, for myself, it's better to riding with the big guys. They make big bumps and I like more. But like this, yeah, the track was wet. It was really wet in the Saturday, also today it was good. And then, yeah, on the time practice I was struggling. I just crashed in my first fast lap. I broke the radiator. I had so many problems. I hit my hand so bad. I still have a lot of pain. And then in the last lap, I put my fastest lap to take the pole position, and I almost did a perfect weekend with a time practice 1, first race 1, second race 2. But if I not put in natural my bike in the third corner, maybe it could be P1, 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 P1. But I'm still the world champion, so I'm really happy.
And just how does it feel to win this world title? I don't think anyone from Hungary has ever done anything like that before. It must feel amazing, not only on a personal level, but also to hopefully raise motocross in Hungary.
Yeah, like world champion was never been since Hungary is Hungary. And yeah, we had one podium by me in 85cc and in the Junior Cup in 65. It's not a world championship, but it's still the same race. Normally a bit less rider than in the European, but yeah, there was one time Katona win, and yeah, he did a great job. He's young, he riding well on the sand and on the hardpack in the MX Championship now with the 125. I think he can be the next world champion for Hungary.
And this year, I feel like you're very confident, maybe more confident than in the past. To say it's a confident sport. Mentally now, do you believe that you belong at the front?
Yeah, since Riola I'm on the front since the first race. I was struggling, I had problems, I by myself, by the bike. The starts are pretty difficult for me, and yeah, I hope and I work for the win. And yeah, if I start in front, I think I have no competitor on the sand. And also on the hardpack I show when I start in front, then I'm fast also there. So yeah, I want to win the European title also.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. You've got the junior world title, so now the goal is to do the double. That would be an unbelievable season.
Yeah. And then I would like to pass. Yeah, I need to pass next year for 250, and I hope this World Championship title helped me to find a new opportunity for the next season.
Do you think you have a chance to stay with Fantic, or still up in the air? Would you like to stay with Fantic, because obviously they were the one that gave you a factory ride and they've helped you get to this level?
I cannot say nothing.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help, much appreciated. To be honest, I think Lucas is probably too young to understand, but he's very, very young, and to do what he did today, in my opinion, I think he was the fastest. Obviously he didn't get the win, but you must be very happy with the speed.
Yeah, overall the weekend was alright. Let's say even the first moto he missed a little bit to start. He came back when he get to fourth, I think.
Yeah, fourth.
When he make a mistake, he catch the second and third. But I think what I feel that he's so young and he don't have still he's not strong enough to go and fight the big guys. So he just sits there and wait for mistakes. But you know, it's class by class. It's getting more difficult, and you need to stay for yourself. But at the end of the day, Levi was really good. Townley was, and if you look even Townley riding, he was exactly like Ben in back his days.
I thought the same.
And you know, so nice to see you. But again, doesn't matter. I can't say the age different or whatever. But end of the day, there is a result is a result. But that's it. I don't know. I'm doing from my side all what I can, but Lucas, he wants it so bad. So.
And just on the second moto, I mean, he got the whole shot and it was bye-bye. He checked out at the front. You must have been over the moon to see him pull away.
Yeah, but even we raced this year the ADAC series.
Yeah.
And there is same. If once when he get the whole shots, he can sprint the first 3 laps really good. He can lay down pretty hot laps, and if he get kind of that zone, he can be pretty good. But you know, end of the day, you need to just take your time, and you even with the second place, you still keep the feet on the ground and do the things what you do base every day and just enjoy it.
And coming into the weekend, what was your expectations for him? And you must be happy with second overall?
Yes, probably. Okay, in my heart, like I see him riding in the practice days, I knew that there is possible to win, but I never told him this because I don't want to pressure him. And but always the racing is different, and if the track's getting really rough, there is for sure the bigger guys, they have advance, you know, I would say. But at the end of the day, he did a good job, and I'm really happy.
And obviously some parents that maybe don't know the sport as well as yourself will push their kids very hard from a young age. What do you like with Lucas? Is it for now? Is it just to have fun, go out?
I don't push nothing. With me, it's easy. So when he start riding, I didn't want that he will ride. So, but now we are here. I'm full-time mechanic, manager, truck driver, whatever I need to do. And passion what Lucas has is I don't need to push him. You know, my job is to prep the bikes, and he wanna be here. That's his world. And how we communicate with talking with another riders and all, it's so much fun. And how many friends he make, you know, he has friends already all over the world almost, you know, and he's 12, so it's good.
I mean, Lucas for me is the next big thing at 12. Do you remember when you were 12? Do you think you were as good as Lucas is now at his age?
I was actually, when I was young, I was pretty good. It's not a lie that when I was small I was lazy. I didn't work. I didn't like working hard. But then when I was 13, I think I broke my back. Then I broke my knee and I broke my collarbone 3 times in a row. So I was more or less 3 years out. Because 99 I was also 85 European champion. And but then after that went all like downhill, you know. But it is what it is, you know. Just enjoy the moment, and tomorrow is a new day, and work from there.
And obviously when you were a GP rider, things are very different now in terms of the MX. There's a lot more focus on the MX. They race the same weekend as the GPs. I think it's really, really good for the youth. If that had been around when you were around, I think the format now, it probably makes it easier for kids because they're seeing what it takes from such a young age, and they're riding these rough tracks and long motos.
Yeah, for sure. Also, even when I grew up, I grew up, Lucas was saying we start with 65 deepest sand track what we have there in Estonia, you know, and my point was that I'm not gonna help him. I not pick up his bike. I'm not gonna start his bike, and not angry way, you know, just to give him a lesson, you know. I'm not kind of dad who walks around the track and show him lines and whatever, you know. It's all end of the day when you go behind the gate, he's there alone. He need to make his own decisions, and that's it, you know. And I'm kind of that okay. It's next to it. It looks crazy, but if he wants it, he need to show it, and
You need to do it. I cannot do it. That's it.
And Lockett this weekend, you must be pretty confident now. I haven't seen him in hardpack, so I'm not sure what he's like in hardpack,
No,
but I
sure.
think he could probably win
He will
there.
be good. I think mostly depends how he gonna be in his head, because there is all those GP teams and all the MXGP stars or whatever, and you feel kind of a little bit pressure from there because you're also in the paddock, same paddock with them. But end of the day, I think it's again experience. You need to take day by day, race by race, and just enjoy it.
And just on the Leok family, obviously Tannel's got his two sons racing, and you've got your son racing. You just seem to can't get away from the sport, you Leoks. You seem to love it.
Nobody don't understand the family from Leoks, so Leoks are everywhere. But
It must be nice to share that experience of racing and now bring the new generation.
that's what we love, what we enjoy, and I think it also shows that where our heart is. You know, it's in racing, and if it's bad days or good days, you need to enjoy it. You know, if you don't enjoy it, nothing can happen. Then okay, it's always good to enjoy if there is a good results, but I try to teach up my kid as like, doesn't matter, man, if you fail or you don't fail, find negatives, find positives, and just go. You know, that's it.
And last question, I have to ask you about it. Your 1GP podium was in Northern Ireland, Desert Martin. I was there that day. Can you just go back and to that day and sum it up, how it all felt to stand on that podium? It was a lot of hard work to get there.
Yeah, for sure, hard work, but there is again, you know, I got the factory 4-stroke KTM that time, and I could race with the bike last 3 GPs. And the 3rd GP in Ireland, I was on the podium. I was over the moon. I'll never forget that day. Even I don't know what year it was, but it was a good day. And I don't know if I remember wrong now, or was that day also Alessi there? Or
Yeah, well, he did race,
I
so
think
it must.
they was
Yeah.
there. But again, you know, even what I like to say is that if you work hard, the hard work gonna pay off. And even with one podium, you know, if I take back my career, it was a hell of a ride, but I really enjoyed it.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Heard the Junior World Championship done and dusted. You had a longer day than most with making it hard work for yourself yesterday with the LCQ, but overall a really, really good weekend for you. You must be happy with your progress from yesterday till today.
Yeah, it was really good. It was not the starts that I wanted. The LCQ did not want to go to, but we pulled out a 9th and a 6th, or 6th overall. So I'm pretty happy about that. That's 6th in the world, and I'm pretty pumped.
And obviously I think you've been in the Netherlands for a week. How have you enjoyed that and seeing different parts of the world?
Yeah, it's been awesome. We went to Belgium and a couple little towns. It was so much fun. I rode Lummel, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Obviously riding a lot of sand. What's your thoughts been on the sand? Do you have anything like this at home in terms of how rough the tracks are?
Not close to my house in California, but it was something different. It was a lot gnarlier than Loretta's, which is our gnarliest race of the year, but it was a lot of fun here. It was, I say, more fun than the United States. A lot more jumps and just, it's, you have to focus the whole time.
Yeah. And can you just talk me through your motos today? Like you touched on, bad starts, but you kept plugging away and coming up through the field.
Yeah, in my first moto, I was in, I think I was in 17th or like 20th, and I ended up making a lot of passes to get me into 9th. It was gnarly. Like, one kid's bike was smoking, and then a lot of people crashed. First corner crashes are pretty bad, but and then in the second moto, we had a worse start, and we made it up to 6th. The first corner pileup was still there. There was a second corner pileup, and then 2 kids took each other out over a jump, and then took advantage of that, made a couple passes, and yeah, it was a fun weekend overall.
And have you been outside America before, or is this your first time outside America?
This would be my first time outside of America.
How you find it all being outside America?
It's way better. Food's better, tracks are better. I mean, everything's better out here.
Hopefully you'll get to come again soon then?
Yeah, hopefully next year or year after that, but we'll have some fun.
What are your plans for the rest of the season now in America?
We will be going to Loretta's in 2 weeks, and then after that, we gotta figure out what we're doing next.
What are your goals for Loretta Lynn's?
Hopefully to win. I've been pretty good this year, but if not, just be up there, have good starts, and have fun.
And obviously racing here, a lot of new competition. What was it like racing against riders from all over the world and different nationalities?
Well, it was different because I didn't know any of them. I only knew my
American,
teammates. But yeah, it was a lot more fun. I got to see how people ride and all that. Way more aggressive here, but it's all good.
And in the future, would you maybe consider coming and racing the MX? Maybe not a full championship, but a selected round or something?
Yeah, it'd be really fun. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
A podium here at your home Junior World Championship. You must be very, very happy, especially after a bad start in Moto 1.
Yeah, I had a bad start in Moto 1 and then I keep my way up to 8 or something, and then I crashed in the first lap. So I had to come from P35 to 10. And that was good. And then in the second moto I had a better start, around 6th. And I made my way up to second. And I fight the whole race with Bauer and
Swedish, I think it was Swedish guy.
And I finished second and the third overall, so that was good.
And after the first moto, did you really expect to get on the podium?
No, it was very good.
And the second moto, you showed you had the speed to run right at the front, so in terms of your speed, you must be happy?
Yeah, it was good. Second moto, I had a good start, and I ride with all the guys the rhythm, and that was good.
And how did you find the track? Yesterday it was very deep, today a little bit not as deep. Did you find it rough or just typical Dutch?
Yeah, it was really difficult with all the bumps, but it was not very rough.
And obviously you've had a little injury. I think you're still recovering a little bit from the injury. What's it like to ride with it?
Yeah, it was good. And I had a little bit recovery now.
And next year you're going to be on a 125.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to making the jump up? And have you rode with a 125 yet, or are you going to wait? So I think the plan is to do a few more Dutch races and then get on the 125 in a few months.
Yeah, that's the plan.
And are you looking forward to that, getting in the 125?
Yeah.
And next year you're obviously going to be in the GP paddock quite a lot. Are you looking forward to being in the GP paddock and racing in the same weekend as Hurlings, Prado, Geyser?
Yeah.
And what's the dream for the future?
To be world champion.
Let's hope it happens. Thank you very much for your time. Overall, a very, very good weekend for you. Can you just talk me through both of your races?
Yeah, I had a first race. I had not the best start, but second race I take the whole shot, and in the first race I passed, I think 4 or 5. I don't know, and then I was fourth, and in the second race I take the whole shot and lead all the race and made a good gap with Townley. And I was second overall because in the first race I was fourth.
And you're still very, very young. Did you expect to be right at the front this weekend, or what were your goals coming into the weekend?
Yeah, I was thinking I was like riding in top 10, but in the second moto when I take the whole shot, I was riding in my flow and I made a good gap.
And are you happy with second overall, or is part of you disappointed because you wanted to win? And I think you showed in the second moto you were probably the fastest.
Yeah, I was fastest in the
second race, but yeah, but I wanted to take the first place, but I was fourth in the first race and it costed me second.
And how did you find the track at Heerde? Yesterday was very, very deep. Today still got pretty rough though?
Yeah, yesterday was really deep and long ruts, and today it was sandy and more ruts and like berms and like this.
Do you enjoy these type of tracks, these type of conditions?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you like the hard pack as well?
Yeah, hardback is good as well, but sand is more better.
So next weekend you go to Lockhart?
Yeah.
What are the goals for Lockhart?
I want to ride top 5 or 7 or something like this, and yeah.
Top 5 or 7 after winning a moto out there?
I know.
And what's it like having your father, Aigar? Obviously he's been a GP rider. He knows exactly what it takes to make it. What's it like having his guidance?
Yeah, he said just go to the track and enjoy the track and enjoy the weekend, and yeah.
And for the future, what's the big dream, the big goals?
MX1 World Champion.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time. It's obviously the first year Ireland have sent the team to the Junior World Championship. Long overdue, but it's good to see them out there, out on track and learning.
Yeah, it's been a great experience for the boys. Super proud of everyone. Put in a lot of effort, the boys, during the week, training and practicing and just getting everything ready. And yeah, 2 boys made it into the main event today, really. So young Ross in the 65 and Cole McCulloch in the 125, you know, so super pumped that we got through to the final with a couple of boys, you know, or the main event. But proud of everybody really, because they worked hard and, you know, put their best in, you know, and we get the thing going and try and improve for next year. And, you know, the riders enjoyed themselves. Yeah, it was good.
And obviously you got the team management role. How did all that come about? Obviously you used to race Dutch Masters, so that's an advantage.
Yeah, no, I just was asked really by the federation, would I be interested, and I said yes. It was something that I thought I'd be good at and would enjoy doing. And yeah, I used to live here. This was my local track, right, actually, okay. So 20 minutes up the road I used to live, so everything was easy in that way. I knew where I was going and knew the tracks, knew this track, so it was really good.
And seeing that there today, and especially yesterday, how deep it was, do you miss these kind of conditions?
No, I love these conditions, yeah, really good. I think it was challenging yesterday, especially for 65, but no, that's what you get when you come to Holland. You know, the tracks are gnarly, and if it rains, it's difficult. And
obviously Irish riders maybe don't realise until they come, but there's nothing to prepare for these kind of tracks at home. I think if people want to make it from home, they probably have to come and race over here, like what you've done, what Cole done, and what a handful of riders have done.
Yeah, I think it's important that the riders go back from this and learn. You know, they figure out their level now within the world or the European level, you know, and then maybe try and make a plan to do some stuff further afield, ONKs or something like that, or, you know, more challenging circuits. And competition. And
Caleb Ross, I mean, to me he was unbelievable. He's only raced outside Ireland 2 or 3 occasions.
Yes.
For him to come here and qualify is outstanding in my opinion. I mean, I'm surprised. You must be happy to see him do that.
I wasn't surprised really, because I've been watching him training during the week, and leading up to it I've seen him a few times, and yeah, I knew that the track would get slower after lap 2 or 3, and especially when the skies open, so we had a plan that he was out first on track and then lap 2 was going to be the lap, so it paid off for him. But yeah, I wasn't really surprised, so pumped that he got in.
And obviously Cole McCulloch yesterday, unbelievable. Speed isn't a question, just bad start after bad start, and then trying to come up through the field, crashes. Just the story of his season really, but in terms of his talent and his speed and his work ethic, I think he has all that. Yeah. Just try and get good starts.
Yeah, like yesterday, so fast in qualifying. Today, you just sort of bad starts, so a little bit unlucky, but the pace in that second moto was incredible, you know, come from last up to 11th, I think.
10th,
yeah. Sorry, yeah. Your fitness and speed, obviously just needs to put a few starts together, and it's right there.
And Lewis Spratt, he's got the right idea. I think he's came and done the Dutch Masters this year. Obviously this weekend didn't go well for him, but again, even the conditions yesterday were probably even rougher than a regular Dutch Masters. But it's encouraging that he's making these steps to racing over here, thinking he can only improve.
Yeah, I think Lewis wants to, go that direction. I think he wants to go to European level, and the only way you'll get there, I think, is to compete at that level and start from the ground up. So I guess he's walking now before he can run, sort of thing. So big learning curve for him this week, and especially yesterday. So I think he's going to try and race maybe the EMX at Arnhem, if I'm right.
Yes, that is right.
Yeah, but you have to keep on learning, and so that'd be good if we could get another rider in the EMX or something. Would be good. And
obviously you still race, but I don't think you go to GPs or anything. What's it like being back here and at a Dutch race? Does it bring back good memories from when you were racing here all those years ago? The good times.
It was good. Yeah, good to be back, and good. I know the club here very well because I used to practice here a lot, and yeah, it was great to be here. Yeah.
And just on a personal level, obviously you're still racing Scotland, some at home, British. Yep. You must still love it. You're not exactly getting any younger, but you must still love racing and riding.
I love riding a bike, love racing, so don't know much else. So yeah. The day is coming though that I'm going to hang the boots up, so don't worry.
You'll still be back out next year though, maybe?
No.
This is it. This is your last year.
Yeah, once I get to the end of the season, then I'm calling it a day. Yeah.
Okay, so
it's too much.
In terms of the future, do you still probably want to stay in the sport? Will it be to help the Junior World Championship team, make yourself available for maybe the MRF? You can help in any way?
Yeah, for sure. I want to do this again. I really enjoyed this, and I think I would like to put in a good effort for next year if I was accepted to be team manager again. First they have to ask me or whatever, but I would really do it again, so it was good.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time.